Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2011 Wilmington High School commencement ceremonies. I would now like to take a moment to introduce our honored guests. Town Manager Michael Kyra, Superintendent Joanne Bedden, Director of Business and Finance Paul Ruggiero, School Committee Chair Margaret Kane, Dr. Leslie Quick, Kathleen Carroll, Mario Marchese, Robert Hayes, Ginny Bonish, and Quincy Vale. I'd also like to introduce Principal Eric Tracy and Assistant Principals Deb Deacon and Dennis Mahoney.
We're supposed to stand and wait for them to come through.
I'd like to ask everybody to please rise and ask our class president, Heather Keelos, to come to the podium to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here representing the town of Wilmington. I want to first congratulate this class of 2011 who has so many accomplishments under their belt over these past 4 years. They certainly have raised the standard for classes to come in the future. I also want to pay tribute to the outstanding faculty and administration led by Superintendent Benton and Principal Tracy, who worked so hard to make sure that we provide the very best of educational excellence in the town of Wilmington. You know, everybody's going to be telling you, giving you advice. So far be it for me to give you advice to tell you to, take the less traveled road or go down some other type of path. Probably the best thing I could tell you is to quote that great philosopher, Yogi Berra. Yogi said, when you come to the fork in the road, take it. You'll know which way to go, because in your heart, you will be able to make a good decision, mostly because of all the wonderful people who are behind you and have been beside you over your entire life, and who, believe me, will want to be a part of your life for the future. People ask me what the favorite role I have as town manager is, and besides from explaining the property tax rate, on telling people why their recycling was late after 48 hours of straight snow, my favorite thing is to go into the schools. And many of you, and I can't tell you with a great degree of certainty that I remember every one of you when you were kindergartners, but that's where it starts, when we go into the school system and speak to the kids at kindergarten, and then maybe I read to somebody in the 3rd or 4th grade, or went over to the Junior National Honor Society, where many of you were members, or even spoke at the high school. But I can tell you that the fact is, if I asked all of you if you remember any of those times, you would most assuredly answer no. I do remember one time, though, and I want you to think about this when all of these accolades are coming your way, and I've told this story before. After going into the kindergarten classes, I always invite the children to come down to town hall if they're with their parents, and to drop in and say hello, and we'll sit down and maybe give them a pencil or some other kind of a trinket and have a little tour of the town hall. Well, one day leaving work around 6:30 or so, I saw this little boy with his father down the corridor. And he looked down and he saw me and he started to wave and tug at his father's pant legs. Because when they're in kindergarten, they still think you're a rock star. And he was trying to get his father's attention, and I just kind of waved to the young boy because the father wanted him to do something else. So I left the town hall, and as I entered the driveway going to my car, I looked back and this little boy come charging over to where I was, and I said, hi Joey, how you doing? And remembered him from the Wildwood School, and we were chatting for a while, and all the time I'm thinking, where is his father? And eventually the father came out, and the father came over to where we were standing, and I finished talking with Joey, and I said to the father, it's nice to see you. I was just talking with your son. And he said, and you are? So let me tell you, this is your day. Soak it in. It may not last forever. Do a wonderful job. Continue to be the kind of class you have as you continue on in all of your endeavors. And the only thing I can ask you to do is to come back. Come back and be a part of this community that thinks so much of you. Thank you all, and have a great day.
And now representing members of the school committee, our school committee chairperson, Ms. Margaret Kane.
You can see how much influence I have. I asked Mr. Kyra not to be too witty. Good job, thank you so much. Town Manager Kyra, Superintendent Benton, Principal Tracy, members of the Wilmington High School faculty and staff, parents, families, friends, and you, especially you, the graduates of 2011. It gives me great pleasure today to extend greetings and well-deserved congratulations from your school committee. As chairman of the school committee, I have the honor of signing certificates and diplomas. This week, when I was called to the Roman House to do just that, I asked Marilyn Allard, the treasured and retiring assistant to Superintendent Benton, if she found my graduation speech in the certificates that she was handing to me. Not a person ever to be flustered after 40 plus years. She looked me straight in the eye with a smile. No, but you don't have to worry. It will come to you. Later that day, I was privileged on behalf of the Friends of the Library to make a presentation to Susan McDonald, the children's librarian, in honor of her 41 years as an employee of the town of Wilmington. I cannot imagine that there is any Wilmington resident here who did not have contact with Susan, as she encouraged each of our children, and maybe ourselves, and offered the love of reading to us all. As I reflect on these two special women, I note that they have never lost their sense of wonder. Simply put, they loved their job and they retire reluctantly, knowing that it is time for themselves at last. As this one door closes, they model for us that another door surely opens. Both of these women show the grace of strength with a calm demeanor and an ethical lifestyle. They have handled all the challenges of their life. Class of 2011, Marilyn was so right. My speech did come to me. I offer you these two examples of a life well led. Your town of Wilmington has given you the foundation that you need to live your life well. You only need to open this next door and walk on through, knowing that you are admired and loved by everyone celebrating your graduation day with you. Walk tall. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kane. And now, our Superintendent of Schools, Ms. Joanne Benton.
I am honored to be part of this afternoon's significant occasion and to share with you in the celebration of your graduation. To the class of 2011, we are all very proud of you. I have watched many of you over the past 4 years perform in plays, the band, strings, choir concerts, athletic events, participating in high school clubs, being involved with the Rotary Interact projects, Bread and Roses, Relay for Life, and other general efforts to help those in need. Through all of these activities, you have helped set new standards of achievement for other classes to emulate. You have added to the excellence that I believe is the hallmark of Wilmington High School. You graduate in a century still in its infancy, at a time in history when our world is dealing with enormous challenges, but a time when the challenges created by those challenges have never been greater. You are technology natives, born and educated in a technological world that was only found in science fiction stories when many of us were in school. You Twitter and tweet, read books and news online, and your electronic social networking has shrunk the known world. You are the generation that will take technology of today to new and dizzying dimensions. You are the ones who will bring solutions to environmental concerns, global warming, conservation of natural resources, and the development of alternative energy sources. the issues that my generation is only now identifying. And who knows, there may come a time that some of you live on a space station circling the Earth. Someone among you may find the cure for cancer or be the President of the United States. So this afternoon, you are poised to start a new chapter of your life story. Whatever direction you take, I guarantee that your world will change as you leave high school. And as a result of what it is you choose to do, our world will change because of your contributions. Contributions that will be determined by how you follow your dreams and your imagination. While we celebrate your past academic accomplishments and activities today, I want to challenge you to continue your quest for knowledge and discover your own unique way to contribute to our society. Although for some of you, your next steps may have been determined, many of you may not know yet what direction your life will ultimately take. You may find a new calling in this next chapter, or it may be several chapters down the road. You may decide the direction you thought you were going just doesn't seem right, or flat out isn't working, and you will begin to follow yet another new road. J.K. Rowling, the creator of the Harry Potter books, was addressing the class of 2008 at Harvard when she said, quote, "Some failure in life is inevitable. It is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you failed by default." Can you imagine a life lived so cautiously that you have failed in life by default? I can't imagine any of you choosing to live life that cautiously, with all the opportunities that lay before you. So take risks, set goals, take the detours that inevitably arise, and learn from them. You are part of a global generation for which professional opportunities, recreational travel, and explorations may take you to the furthest reaches of the earth and beyond. So I want to challenge you to take the enthusiasm that surrounds you today out into that world and use it to obtain your goals. As you go forward, don't forget the friends you have made and those that you will make along the way. True friendship is a treasure. Continue to care. Care about yourself, your family, your friends, your community, and your world. And wherever the next chapter in your life story may take you, make sure the journey includes finding the road back to Wilmington. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Benton. This morning I was talking to our visual arts teacher, Jen Fiddler, and she asked me what I was going to speak about. And I said, well, I talked to the kids during the week, during our graduation practices, and I said if we can get through this, do a good job of the rehearsals. And I have to commend them, two of the best rehearsals I have done in 7 years. They were great, in and out, and everything went well. So I made them a promise that I would not give a speech if they could pull that off. So I'm not going to give a speech today, but in place I have something much better than listening to me. I talked to a student the other day, about a week ago, and he said, listen, I can write you a song. Really? I challenged the student to write the song, and I'd like to now call Cody Nielsen to the stand to sing it for you.
This is one of the hardest songs I've ever had to write because I have to look at all you guys when I do it. It's called 4-Year Fear. I'll admit it, I'm scared of what's to come. Remember me when I'm gone. children in our parents' eyes. Time to come, our time to fly. What is fear but fear itself is in the arms of someone else. Fear is what we've come to be. Fear is 4 years of you and me. Hot summer days with my friends. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Lots of memories past 4 years. Live my dreams, man and girl. What is fear but fear itself is in the arms of someone else. Fear is what we've come to be. Fear is 4 years. What is fear but fear itself is in the arms of someone else. Fear is what we've come to be. Fear is 4 years. Here's to the teachers putting up with me. Here's to my friends, the Dunnies, my family. I hope you all find happiness in your lives. One thing we all share, we will remember tonight. We'll make choices, some will pay and some will win. I just hope I get the chance to see you again. This old town, these 4 walls. If you listen closely, you can hear it all. What is fear but fear itself is in the arms of someone else. Fear is what we've come to be. Fear is 4 years. What is fear but fear itself is in the arms of someone else. Fear is what we've come to be. Fear is 4 years of you and me.
Class of 2011. Certainly a small sample of the talent this group carries with them as they move towards the future. Without further ado, I'd like to present a couple of awards for our top 3 students this year, starting with our student essayist, number 3 in the class. I'd like to call to the podium Lauren Cole. Number 2 in the class, our salutatorian, Mr. Lyndon Hayes.
Hello, class. As we sit today just celebrating our graduation, safely enveloped by the microcosm of Wilmington, we are taking our first step out of this little town. After today, we will all be venturing out into the world, a world that is crying to our generation for help. Some of our peers around the world have already answered this call, and now it's our turn to heed it as well. We are the Facebook generation, the internet generation. We can act anonymously, we can connect with each other over every kind of border imaginable, and we can wield the internet as a tool for global change. This is where the power of our generation lies. When tyrants and dictators oppress their people, our generation connects over the internet, protests, and topples them. When corporations lie to their customers and act illegally, our generation hacks them and brings them to their knees until their demands are met. Even when our own government and military try to cover up heinous crimes they have committed, our generation has brought their actions to light and made them visible to everyone around the world. The Facebook generation is bringing about an era of accountability, in which people truly have power for the first time in history. The world is entering a new era of radical democracy, the internet age, with our generation leading the charge. So as you walk across the stage later on today, you're not just receiving your diploma and graduating from high school, you're becoming a fully fledged member of the new society that's appearing worldwide, with all the power and responsibility that entails. All the problems that other generations have put off and ignored have landed on our generation. The environment is on the brink of collapse. Corporations act with no interest other than their own in mind. Dictators rule around the world, and the global economy has reached breaking point. But our generation is finally acting upon these problems. So I ask each one of you to use what you have received here in Wilmington, find a cause, and fight for it. Fixing the myriad problems that the world is facing will not be easy, but our generation is not going to give up the fight. We are anonymous, we are legion, and we're changing the world.
Now I'd like to present the valedictorian of the class of 2011, Catherine Aoki.
Superintendent Benton, Principal Tracy, school committee members, high school administrators and faculty, parents, family members, and fellow students. I am honored by the privilege of addressing you today. I want to take a moment to thank my family who helped me get this far. I am lucky enough to have both sets of grandparents here today, one from Connecticut and the other all the way from Japan. I thank all four of them for their support. And I am grateful to my parents for their guidance and encouragement. Love you, Jake. I am looking forward to the future with excitement and some nervousness. I am eager to attend college, but apprehensive about moving on from the safety of our intimate community into the larger world. I think that for many of us, anxiety about our futures comes from wondering who we will be in whatever new environment we are to enter. We wonder which parts of our high school identities we want to keep, which we want to change, and which we want to leave behind. Perhaps the greatest opportunity provided by graduation is the chance to start fresh. This can be very exciting as we envision our best selves moving forward. Perhaps we have no idea what major or career or tenure plan is right for us. I certainly don't. But by now we have an understanding of what people we want to be. For each of us, there have been private difficulties that we have had to overcome. These tribulations have helped us decide what kind of friend or coworker or student we aim to be. And if our identities are defined by the choices we make, then we can build our best selves one decision at a time. We can judge for ourselves the value of our options and make the decisions that will help us become who we want to be. Looking back, I feel so lucky knowing that, for the most part, the choices that I've made so far, I would make again. My best self is by no means perfect, but at least I can tell myself that I did the best to be someone I could respect. I hope the same for all of you as you move forward into a world in need of confident, compassionate, productive individuals. To the class of 2011, best of luck to all of you. Thank you.
Each year, the students are asked to vote a member of the faculty as the Teacher of the Year. This year we had quite a horse race going, and the final winner of that honor was English teacher Lisa Bellavia.
Thank you. Good afternoon, graduates, parents, families, and Wilmington High School faculty and guests. First, thank you, seniors, for giving me the honor of standing here addressing a class that I have connected with over the years as it prepares to leave. This recognition is especially poignant because I, too, graduated from Wilmington High School. Don't worry about the year. We're not going to go there. When I re-entered the hallways of WHS as a teacher, I had three things on my mind. This is going to be a lot of work. Are these kids going to eat me alive? What if I can't do this? As those thoughts ran through my head, you were little freshmen, and I can't begin to guess what was running through your heads as you walked the hallways for the first time. But because we started at the same time, and because I got to teach so many sections of your grade, we have been able to climb this ladder together. And believe me, I recognize how lucky I am to have done so with all of you. What has made my first few years teaching at the high school worthwhile, gratifying, and unforgettable has been many of you. I taught you as freshmen, sophomores, and as juniors. Various years brought various memories, and here are just a few. Strange noises being made in the corner of my classroom, Cody Nielsen. Dinosaurs, Chewbacca, Jessie, other creatures come to mind. There was the ginger list, playing Icy Tower instead of taking notes and paying attention. And of course, there was Bad News Bears, Nice Rig, and, ooh, sorry about that, becoming a daily part of my conversations. But most importantly, I will always remember mature, determined students who inspired me to work even harder, who challenged me, and who made coming to work fun and interesting. Knowing this class and knowing that some of you aren't taking the traditional route of going right to college, I had to think of a message to send to each individual, one that would apply regardless of what lies ahead. And quite selfishly, I wanted to send a message that would make me feel better about having to let you go. That message comes in the form of a poem from one of my favorite childhood poets, Shel Silverstein. How many slams in an old screen door? Depends how loud you shut it. How many slices in bread? Depends how thin you cut it. How much good inside a day? Depends how good you live 'em. And how much love inside a friend? Depends how much you give 'em. Nothing will ever just come to you. You are the one who is responsible for how your life turns out. You can cut a loaf of bread into 10 pieces or into 4. It's up to you to decide how much you are going to get out of the life ahead of you. Don't look at something, say, that looks too difficult, I don't want to deal with it, and then walk away. Work at it until you get what you want. You are going to have to slam the screen door over and over until you get the desired effect, because what you want is there. You just have to keep trying until you get it. You are going to need support. Friendship will not just come to you, nor will it just stay with you. How many friends you are about to make, keep, or lose will partly depend on you. Resolve right now to put in the effort to keep the friends sitting in front of you, behind you, and all around you in your life for a long time. Along with all the work you've done, they have helped you get this far. You're going to need them, and they're going to need you. So as your post-WHS life begins, as I get ready to watch you graduate, I have one thing on my mind, one thing I hope you'll keep with you as you walk down new hallways. You know who you are and what you want to do. There isn't anything or anyone out there that could possibly stop you. Congratulations, class of 2011. Good luck to each and every one, and I'm going to miss you very much.
Without further ado, I'd like to ask the marshals to prepare the class of 2011 for the presentation of diplomas. Marshals?
Sean Patrick Adams. Melissa Jacqueline Aisi. Valerie Marie Albano. Angelina Bianca Amato. Eric Thomas Antico. Christine Roxy Antoine. Aswad Anwar. Catherine Bennett Aoki. Michael Anthony Aria. John Robert Arvanitis. Joseph Acoin. Cameron Daniel Babine. Taylor Ann Bell. Craig Bernard. Joshua Milton Bibber. Bridget Mary Blaisdell. James John Bonish. Stephanie Marie Boughton. Jesse Cullen Bozella. Kelly Ruth Randano. Amanda Marie Brazil. Krista Ann Bresnahan. Karen Alicia Briggs. Matthew Robert Brophy. Aaron Robert Brown. Amy Christine Kyra. Kristen Patricia Callahan. Lisa Jane Capozzi. Michaela Ann Carda. Alexia Joy Catanzano. Aliana Christina Chiampa. Gregory Ryan Clarkin. Lauren Francis Cole. Zachary Stephen Kopp. Erin Elizabeth Cowden. Megan Elizabeth Cox. Kristen Michelle Crosby. Drew Charles Cummings. Christopher Philip D'Agostino. Nicole Marie D'Agostino. Michael Jonathan De Silva. Allison Marie Dansowitz. Brianne Danko. Jessica Lynn DeNorsha. James Patrick DeRosa. Anthony Stephen DeSimone. Stephen Christopher Della Pella. Christopher Leo DeCecca. Elio Bernardo DeMambro. Melissa Ashley Dillon. Katie Dillon. Nicole Diorio. Beth Priscilla Doherty. Bobby Marie Dole. Michael Robert Donahue. Michael Thomas Donnell. Nathan Edward Downs. Kelly Ann Duffy. Kaya Bridget Dunn. Kareem El Dali. Anne-Marie Farrell. Leah Jean Femino. Michelle Deborah Filippi. Kelly Ann Finn. Elisa Brianne Fiorentino. Gordon David Fitch II. Joseph Anthony Fitzgerald. Lori Ann Fletcher. Michelle Marie Frackleton. Michelle Jean Frageau. Christopher Richardson Versori. Jonathan Adam Memory Frost. Katrina Appleton Fryer. Matthew O'Connor Gake. Zachary John Galasso. Cameron Christopher Garant. Jennifer Catherine Garrard. Fiona Jean Eileen Gately. Carlin Rose Gillis. Stephen Godfrey. Nicholas Paul Godzik. Jeffrey Michael Goosens. Thomas Joseph Gorham. Zachary Dennis Goslin. Ryan William Hallis. Sean Paul Hanley. Taylor Cynthia Hanley. David Joshua Hansen. Mackenzie Ray Harper. Nathan Prescott Harvey. Lyndon James Hayes. Stephanie Marie Heatley Quinlan. Katie Louise Howland. Tyler Joseph Hubner. John Murray Hewson. Brian Michael Hurley. Nancy Mary Hurley. Sarah Elizabeth Ippolito. Elizabeth Kathleen Jeske. Erica Christine Jensen. Erica Francis Johnson. James William Ignatius Johnson. Heather Rose Kilos. Amanda Laurette Keene. Shannon Lee Keefe. John Eugene Keegan. Kristen Elizabeth Keller.
Lauren Jean Kelly. Erin Carol Kelly. Hannah Marie Kelly. Shane Patrick Kinsella. Adam Scott Klein. Rachel Nicole Cossack. Andrew Joseph LaRosa. John Francis Langenfeld. Jillian Mary Langone. Jessica Lynn Lavin. Alexandria Jane Layden. Peter Layton. Benjamin Allen Levine. David Donald Joseph Livermore. Anthony Francesco Lodato. Victoria Rose Lord. Megan Georgia McCorkle. Jeffrey James McDonald. Jillian Sullivan McNeil. Shannon Marie Maggio. Jessica Elizabeth Mayenza. John Francis Malone. Devin Alexandra Mann. Marilyn Victoria Manos. Nicholas John Marciello. Tiana Marguerite Marquardt. Catherine Angelica Marsh. Sienna Lee Martin. Adam Peter Martinello. Stephanie Nicole Mason. Alexa Lynn Mattis. Stephanie Paige Maisie. Lindsay Sharon McCarthy. Christopher Michael McCoy. Caitlin Marie McGuire. Brian Tyler McInnes. Stephen David McNamara. David Stephen Mello. Lindsay Harriman Mercer. Michael Reynolds McAleese. Paige Medora Miller. Kevin Michael Maraglia. Kevin Robert Mitchell. Mary Catherine Mogan. Krista Monteforte. Kelly Ann Moon. Kevin Christopher Moriarty. Mia Marie Mullaney. Brendan Patrick Monroe. Shannon Lynn Murphy. Kimberly Jean Nassett. Michelle Ann Nelson. Nicole Neb. Domingos Kenneth Neb. Nicole Marie Neville. Cody James Nielsen. Brendan Thomas O'Brien. Shannon Elizabeth O'Brien. Brooke Nicole O'Connell. Cody Pelletier O'Connor. Derek John O'Day. Emily Elizabeth O'Donoghue. Ryan Christopher O'Rourke. Elizabeth Patricia Olson. Andrew Philip Owen. Arsted Tura Palm. Catherine Francis Perella. Ryan Christopher Penny. James Ryan Perry. Anastasia Elizabeth Perullo. Megan Nicole Pickett. Larissa Mello Piankowski. Nicholas Joseph Pino. Melissa Ann Preziosi. May Christine Randall. Samantha Marie Reed. Haley Elizabeth Robarge. Daniel Joseph Robinson. Stephen Quentin Rodenheiser. Rebecca Elizabeth Rose. Alyssa Jean Rossetti. Kayla Marie Rossetti. Samantha Lee Russo. Elaine Sartoris. Adam Savage. Zachary James Sears. Courtney Elizabeth C. Thomas Kinsman Schaefer. Mark Anthony Shabelia. Christina Marie Silva. Nikki Sirignano. Shauna Elise Smith. Michael Daniel Smith. Lauren Marie Finale. Carrie Ann Fry. Lucas Matthew Spry. Andrew Joseph Spur. Emily Louise Stebbins. Elizabeth Catherine Steen. Alexa Ray Steenbruggen. James Ryan Stokes. Jillian Ruth Stuzeri. Tyler Joseph Strem. David Michael Chagru. Dylan Ward Sullivan. Ashik Toman Sunny. Brianne Melissa Zaring. Jonathan Joseph Terlaga. David Lee Toe. Megan Marie Torres. Jessica Rose Troy. Joseph Anthony Tucker. Christina Marie Tamino. Tyler Paul Valente. Jalika Shanice Bard. Megan Marie Womble. Jessica Nicole Weaver. John Frederick Weber. Andrew Paul Wells. Chelsea Marie Westerberg. Alexa Catherine Whalen. Jenna Lynn Cooley. Sean Daly Woodbury. Ryan Robert Woods. Lauren Elizabeth Zaremba. John Arvanitis, ladies and gentlemen. Amy Mary Fisher. Lena Mae Bishop. Graduates, please stand. Take your tassels and move them to the left. Having met all the standards set forth by the Massachusetts Department of Education, together with the graduation requirements of the Wilmington Public School District, I now present Wilmington High School's class of 2011.